You're sitting at your desk on the first of the month, looking at three different bank accounts, two credit cards, and a stack of bills. Social Security went into one account. Your pension hit another. You withdrew some money from your IRA last week, but you're not sure if it was the right amount. There's a medical bill you're pretty sure you already paid, but the statement showed up again. You've been retired for 2 years, and somehow managing your money feels more complicated now than when you were working. My name is David Harrington. I spent over 2 decades as an investment banking analyst and portfolio strategist, navigating market cycles, recessions, and financial bubbles. After stepping away from institutional finance, I now focus on helping everyday people, especially those approaching or enjoying retirement, understand money in a calm, practical way. Before we continue, a quick note. This isn't financial advice. Everyone's situation is different. Think of this as education to help you ask better questions and make calmer decisions. By the end of this video, you'll have a simple monthly money system that eliminates confusion, prevents overdrafts, and lets you actually enjoy your retirement without wondering if you're handling things correctly. If this resonates with you, please subscribe and hit the like button. It helps more retirees find content like this. Now, let me tell you what I've noticed working with hundreds of retirees over the years. When you're working, money management is actually pretty straightforward. Paychecks come in on a predictable schedule. You pay your bills. You put some aside for savings. The system practically runs itself because income shows up reliably and you're generally not touching your investments. But retirement changes everything. Suddenly, you've got Social Security hitting on the third Wednesday of the month, a pension that deposits on the first. Maybe you're taking quarterly distributions from an IRA. Perhaps there's rental income that's not always consistent. You've got required minimum distributions starting at 73 that show up once a year. Some retirees I've worked with have income coming from 7 or 8 different sources, all on different schedules. Here's what happens. You start checking your accounts constantly. Did the Social Security deposit yet? How much is in checking? Can I pay this bill now, or should I wait? You're doing mental math every few days trying to figure out if you have enough in the right place at the right time. It's exhausting, and it's completely unnecessary. Let me share something I learned during my years managing institutional portfolios. The most sophisticated wealth management systems in the world aren't actually complicated. They're built on a simple principle. Money flows in, gets allocated to specific purposes, and flows out in an organized way. That's it. No magic, no complexity. Just organized flow. You can do the same thing with your retirement income, and it doesn't require software or spreadsheets or keeping detailed records. It just requires one simple system that runs the same way every single month. Here's how it works. You're going to use 3 accounts, just 3, and each one has one clear purpose. Think of them as 3 buckets that your money flows through in a specific order. The first account is what I call the income hub. This is where everything lands initially. Social Security, pension, IRA withdrawals, dividends, rental income. Every dollar that comes and goes here first. Just one account, one landing spot. No confusion about where money showed up. Most retirees make the mistake of having different income sources hit different accounts because that's how it got set up years ago. Social Security goes to the checking account they opened in 1987. The pension goes to a different bank entirely. IRA distributions land wherever the advisor suggested. It's fragmented and it creates constant confusion. Consolidate it. Pick one account to be your income hub and redirect everything there. Yes, you'll need to update your direct deposit information with Social Security. Call your pension administrator. Talk to whoever manages your IRA distributions. It takes a few phone calls. Do it anyway. This one change eliminates half the confusion right there. The second account is your operating account. This is where you pay bills from, where your debit card is linked, where checks get written. This is your daily life money. And here's the key. You're going to transfer the same amount into this account on the same day every single month. Not different amounts based on what came in. Not whenever you remember to do it. The same amount, same day, every month. Let me give you a real example. Let's say your total monthly expenses are about $4,800. That includes your mortgage or rent, utilities, groceries, gas, insurance, medications, everything you need to live your normal life month to month. You're going to transfer $5,000 into your operating account on the first of every month. Same day, same amount, like clockwork. Why $5,000 when expenses are $4,800? Because you want a small cushion in there. You don't want to be cutting it close every month. The extra $200 builds a little buffer over time and prevents you from ever overdrafting or scrambling when something costs more than expected. Now here's what happens with this system. You stop checking your balance constantly because you already know what's in there. You know that on the first of every month, $5,000 shows up in your operating account. You know your bills are about $4,800. You don't need to do math. You don't need to wonder if you can afford something. The money is there, allocated for exactly this purpose, your monthly living expenses. The third account is your reserve account. This is where everything else stays. After you've moved your monthly operating money out of the income hub, whatever remains just sits there. This is your breathing room, your cushion, your something unexpected came up money. Let's walk through a real month so you can see how simple this actually is. It's April 1st. Your Social Security deposited $2,400 into your income hub on the third Wednesday of last month. Your pension of $3,200 hit on the 1st. You took a quarterly IRA distribution of $6,000 that showed up 2 weeks ago. Your income hub currently has about $11,600 in it. On April 1st, you transfer $5,000 to your operating account. That's it. One transfer. Same amount you transfer every single month. Your operating account now has $5,000, and you know that's your money for bills, groceries, gas, everything routine for the month of April. The remaining $6,600 stays in your income hub, which effectively functions as your reserve account. It just accumulates there month after month. Some months your income will be higher because of how things land. Some months it'll be lower. Over time, you'll build up several $1,000s sitting in this reserve account. That's exactly what you want. Here's why this system works so beautifully. You've separated the volatility of when income arrives from the stability of when you need to pay bills. Income can land whenever it lands. You don't care anymore because it's all going to the same place first, and then on the first of every month you're moving the amount you need to the account where you actually spend money. Your operating account becomes completely predictable. You're not wondering if there's enough in there. You're not checking the balance before you buy groceries. You're not doing mental math at the pharmacy counter. You transferred $5,000 on the first of the month. Your expenses are $4,800. There's enough. That's all you need to know. The reserve account gives you peace of mind. Let's say your property taxes are due twice a year and they're $3,600 each time. You're not scrambling when that bill shows up. You've got months of excess building up in your reserve account. When the property tax bill comes, you transfer $3,600 from reserve to operating, pay the bill, and you're done. No stress, no juggling. Same thing with car repairs, medical bills that insurance doesn't fully cover, helping a grandchild, whatever comes up that's outside your normal monthly $4,800. The money is sitting there in your reserve account because you've been systematically building it up by only transferring what you need for monthly operations. Now let me address what you might be thinking. What if my income isn't enough to cover my expenses? What if I need to pull from my investments every month just to make the bills work? That's actually fine. The system still works the same way. You're just being more intentional about the withdrawal. On the first of every month, you take your distribution from your IRA or your brokerage account and move it into your income hub along with your Social Security and pension. Then you transfer your operating amount to your operating account exactly the same as anyone else. The benefit is you're not making random withdrawals throughout the month when you think you need money. You're not pulling from investments in a panic when a bill arrives and you're not sure if checking has enough. You're making one planned withdrawal each month, the same amount, on the same day. That's portfolio management discipline that institutional investors use. You're just applying it to your own retirement. What about credit cards? Here's where most retirees create unnecessary stress. They use credit cards throughout the month, which is fine, but then they're not sure when to pay them off or if they have enough to pay the full balance. With this system, it's simple. Use your credit card like normal throughout the month. On the 25th of every month, before your statement closes, pay off the full balance from your operating account. Same day every month. Full balance. You already know there's money in operating account to cover it because you're not overspending your $4,800 monthly budget. This does two things. It keeps your credit utilization low, which is good for your credit score. and it prevents you from ever carrying a balance and paying interest, which at retirement is money you don't need to be giving away to credit card companies. Let me give you one more scenario that comes up often. You've got this system running smoothly, and then you need to make a bigger purchase. Maybe you're replacing the roof, and it's $12,000. Maybe you're helping a child with a down payment. Maybe you're taking that trip to see the grandkids, and Flights Plus Hotel is $5,000. Here's what you do. Look at your reserve account. If the money is sitting there and you're comfortable with what's left after you spend it, transfer what you need to your operating account and make the purchase. If the reserve account doesn't have enough or you don't want to drain it, then you need to do something different. Maybe take an extra distribution from your IRA. Maybe wait a few months while reserve builds up more. Maybe reconsider if this is the right time for this expense. The point is you're making these decisions consciously, looking at real numbers and real accounts, not guessing or hoping or justifying something emotionally. The system forces clarity. You can see exactly what you have, what you need, and what's left over. No confusion. Now here's what surprised me when I started helping retirees set up this exact system. The biggest benefit isn't actually the money management part, even though that's obviously valuable. The biggest benefit is psychological. You stop thinking about money constantly. When your money is fragmented across multiple accounts with different purposes that aren't clearly defined, you're always doing mental math. You're always checking balances. You're always wondering if you're handling things right. It's cognitive load that you don't even realize you're carrying until it's gone. This system removes that load. You transfer money once a month. You pay your credit card once a month. You know where everything is and what it's for. The rest of the time, you're not thinking about money management at all. You're just living your life. I watched a client implement this system 2 years ago. She's 71, been retired for 6 years, and she told me she was checking her bank accounts 4 or 5 times a week because she was always worried about having enough in the right place at the right time. 3 months after setting up this 3-account system, she told me she looks at her accounts maybe twice a month now. That's it. The stress is gone because the system is handling it. Let me walk you through exactly how to set this up. First, you need to identify your 3 accounts. If you already have 3 checking accounts at the same bank, perfect. Redesignate them. One becomes Income Hub, one becomes Operating, one becomes Reserve. If you don't have 3 accounts, open them. Most banks let you have multiple checking accounts. There's usually no fee if you maintain minimum balances, and you're going to have money sitting in these accounts anyway. Second, redirect all your income sources to your Income Hub account. Call Social Security. Call your pension administrator. Talk to whoever handles your IRA distributions. Give them the routing number and account number for your Income Hub. Get everything flowing to one place. This takes a few hours of phone calls. It's worth it. Third, calculate your monthly operating expenses. Look at the last 3 months of spending. Add up everything that's routine, mortgage or rent, utilities, groceries, gas, insurance, medications, phone bill, streaming services, everything you pay every month. Round up to a nice clean number and add a little cushion. That's your monthly transfer amount. Fourth, set up an automatic transfer from your Income Hub to your operating account for the first of every month. Most banks let you schedule recurring transfers. Set it once and forget it. Same amount, same day, every month, automatic. Fifth, set up an automatic payment for your credit card on the 25th of every month from your operating account. Full balance, automatic. You don't want to carry a balance. You don't want to pay interest. This removes any temptation or forgetfulness. That's the setup. It takes maybe one afternoon to get everything in place. Once it's running, you barely touch it. The system runs itself. Now let me address something I hear from retirees who are skeptical about this. They tell me they like having their money spread across different banks because it feels safer. If one bank has a problem, they've still got access to money somewhere else. I understand the instinct, but here's the reality. FDIC insurance protects $250,000 per depositor per bank. If you're keeping that much in checking accounts, we need to have a different conversation about why you're not investing that money. For most retirees, total checking account balances across all 3 accounts might be $20,000 to $40,000. That's nowhere near FDIC limits. The protection is fine. And the benefit of having all 3 accounts at the same bank is you can move money between them instantly. You can see all 3 balances on one screen. You can manage everything from one login. The convenience is worth far more than the theoretical safety of bank diversification when we're talking about checking account amounts. What if your income varies significantly month to month? Maybe you've got seasonal income or irregular dividends or rental properties where the rent isn't always consistent. The system still works. You just need a bigger reserve account to smooth out the variation. Let's say your income ranges from $3,000 some months to $8,000 other months, but your expenses are still that same $4,800 every month. You need to build up your reserve account to maybe $15,000 or $20,000 so that in the low-income months, you're still transferring $5,000 to operating from reserve, and in the high-income months, you're replenishing reserve. Over time, it evens out. You're not stressed about the variation because reserve is handling the buffer role it's supposed to handle. You're still transferring the same amount to operating every month. The variation is absorbed in an account you're not spending from day to day. Here's something else I learned working with retirees for years. The biggest source of money stress isn't actually having too little money. It's uncertainty about whether you're managing what you have correctly. People with $3 million can be just as stressed as people with $300,000 if neither of them has a clear system for managing the day-to-day flow. This system removes uncertainty. You know exactly what's happening, when it's happening, and why. There's no confusion, no wondering, no checking balances at 11 p.m. because you're worried about something. It's organized and it's clear. Let me give you one final piece of advice based on 2 decades of watching people manage money. Once you set this system up, resist the urge to tinker with it. Don't start moving money around randomly because you saw something you want to buy. Don't change your monthly transfer amount every few months. Don't add a 4th account because it seems like a good idea at the time. The power of this system is in its consistency. Same amount, same day, every month. That rhythm is what creates the psychological benefit. The predictability is what removes the stress. If you start changing things constantly, you lose that benefit. The only time you should adjust your monthly transfer amount is if your regular expenses permanently change. You downsize to a cheaper home and your monthly costs drop by $800. Fine, lower your transfer amount to reflect that. Your Medicare supplement premium increases and now you're spending $300 more every month. Fine, increase your transfer amount. But these should be rare adjustments based on real changes in your cost of living, not constant tinkering. Your future self, the one who's 78 or 82 or 91, is counting on you to put systems in place now that make life simpler later. Financial management shouldn't get more complicated as you get older. It should get easier because you've built good systems that run themselves. This 3-account system is one of those systems. Set it up now. Let it run. Stop thinking about money management every single day and start actually enjoying the retirement you worked decades to achieve.